Does anybody see anything?
Nothing over here.
No, nothing.
What about over here? Has anybody checked over here?
Oh, I think I see something.
What?
Did you find it?
Never mind.
No. Well, it must be up here. It must.
I think you looked over there already, Albert.
No, but it can't be. It can't be gone. No,
I'm sorry, Albert.
I'm so sorry, Eldrick.
It's all right.
I know how important it was.
Don't lose hope yet. We can still find it.
I think George saw something. What's wrong? Do you know where Albert's Book of Truth went? Do either of you speak dragon?
No.
Is dragon even a language?
I thought I spoke it, but it must have been my imagination again. Sorry, George.
Whoa! Why is everybody looking so down in the dumps?
Albert lost his special copy of the Book of Truth that I gave to him.
Oh.
It was filled with many years of my notes.
Oh, that's a bummer.
We could help you look for it if you'd like.
Thanks, but we've already looked pretty much everywhere.
Well, sometimes it helps to take your mind off things for a bit.
Yeah, if you take a break, it could really help.
I know just the thing. What about one of our new jokes?
So Percival helped us come up with a really good one. Do you want to hear it?
Knock, knock.
Thanks, but I'm not really in the mood for a joke.
Oh. Well, what about another sword fighting lesson?
Would that help?
Maybe later.
Oh, okay.
I know, Albert. Why don't I go and see if any of the servants have seen it?
And I could ask Cook.
Oh, and we can ask Sir Percival and the other knights.
You might as well call me
Sir Looks-a-lot. All right. Wait.
Thanks, everyone.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Jeez.
Guess I'll look around here some more. Maybe it's under this bench. Let's see. I lost the Book of Truth and found a headache.
Albert,
Your Grace.
whatever is the matter?
I lost something. The Book of Truth that Eldrick gave me. The one that he's had for a long time and made all his notes in. It was just here on the bench, but it's nowhere to be found.
Oh, that's too bad. But it really was just a dusty old book anyway, wasn't it? Would someone please quiet that infernal beast? You know, Albert, you really shouldn't let things get to you that don't really matter.
But it does matter. I mean, with all due respect, Your Grace, studying the Book of Truth is important. If I want to learn more about God and absolute truth, I need to study His Word. It's where the Knight's Code comes from.
Is that what Eldrick told you?
Yes?
Albert, Eldrick is only telling you what he wants you to believe so that you'll be exactly like him. The Book of Truth, it really is just a collection of fairy tales. Albert, it was written so very long ago.
That's not what Eldrick said.
Oh, and how does he know? How could he possibly know if the Book of Truth is God's word? How can you know what absolute truth even is?
Because...
Look, I'm very sorry that you lost your silly little book, but don't worry. You can still become a knight without it. You have my help. Remember, if you help me, I will help you. Which reminds me, I still need you to find out for me where the king is going. And do try to get me an answer before tomorrow night, so I can, plan the banquet. Oh, Albert, you look so tired. That Eldrick is working you to the bone. What you need is a really nice meal and a hot bath and an early night. Tell Eldrick I said so. Have a good night, sweetie.
There you are. There you are, Albert. Sorry, but Cook hasn't seen anything.
Thanks for asking, anyways.
I did bring you an apple, though. And don't worry, it really is an apple this time, not an onion.
Thanks, Your Highness. I'm not really hungry right now. I'll save it for later.
Maybe Sir Hill and Sir Arius were right. Maybe all you need is a break. We could play a game.
I don't know.
Come on, Albert. Playing games always cheers me up, especially when I get to use my imagination.
All right, well, what do you have in mind?
Well, if you aren't going to eat your apple, we could play toss with it. And every time one of us catches it, we have to imagine something funny, like a horse dressed like a gentleman being pulled by people in a carriage.
I guess it couldn't hurt.
Okay, stand there. You ready?
A princess turning into a frog.
A bear juggling a bunch of beehives covered in sticky honey.
A court jester doing a cartwheel and crashing into a suit of armor.
George being chased by a dog, being chased by a cat, being chased by a mouse. Oh, I'm just kidding, George.
A dog dancing a jig.
Oh,
Whoa, whoa. Ugh. A fancy royal ball, but everyone is wearing pajamas and carrying stuffed animals.
yeah, and instead of dancing, they have a giant pillow fight and feathers go everywhere.
It appears as though you cheered him up, Princess. Well done. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, Albert, but no one I've spoken to has seen the Book of Truth.
That's all right. Thanks for asking anyways.
The Knights haven't seen the Book of Truth either.
That's all right. I appreciate your help.
We'll keep looking tomorrow.
Yeah, I already imagined we'd find it. Albert, you were so relieved, and we were all so excited that we threw a banquet. It was ever so much food and music and fireworks, and we were all there, you and me and Eldrick and the knights and my dad and the entire kingdom.
Yes, Princess, we can all imagine it quite vividly.
Thank you all for your help. Really.
That's what friends are for, Al.
Well, it's been a long day. Let's get some food in our bellies and get some rest.
Oh, all right. Well, don't forget to have a good night's sleep, Albert.
Now, sleep is also very important to your training. You better have a good night if you want to be a good knight.
Speaking of, do you know the best time for a knight to have dinner?
Wait, let me guess. Nighttime?
That's right.
You can take your supper. Okay. You can take your supper with me tonight, Albert. And then we can find a place among the spare rooms for you to sleep.
Thank you.
Well, better see you bright and early for your next day of training tomorrow. Night, everyone.
Night.
Night.
Oh, good night, guys.
Princess.
See you tomorrow.
Good
I
night.
wonder what I'll dream of tonight.
This way, Albert.
Eldrick, can I tell you something?
Of course.
Well, while you and the others were looking for the Book of Truth, the Duchess found me in the courtyard.
Did she?
Yes. She asked me what was wrong, and I told her. But then she said something strange. She said I couldn't get that upset because the Book of Truth doesn't really matter, and that it's not important, and that I don't need it.
I see.
And I knew that couldn't be right because that's not what you told me. But she sounded so sure. She said that the book of truth was it's just a whole bunch of fairy tales that were written so long ago, and that we couldn't really know that it was God's word.
Then it's just as I feared. The Duchess does not walk in the light.
You mean she's bad?
I'm afraid so. Do you remember how I told you that God is the source of absolute truth and that he cannot lie, but his enemy Satan is the father of all lies and evil? Well, the Duchess has been feeding you lies to undermine your trading.
But she's been so nice to me.
That may be true, Albert, but she has shown whose side she's on by leading you to not trust God and his word.
I don't know what to do, Aldrich.
Albert, you have a choice to make. If you are on God's side, you are part of his kingdom of light. You will have peace with him. But if you are on the side of darkness, then you will be at war with God and in rebellion. Do you remember the spiritual armor that I told you about, starting with the belt of truth? There are two more pieces that I need to tell you about: the breastplate of righteousness and the shoes of peace. The breastplate of righteousness reminds us that God's righteousness covers our very heart. When you have God's righteousness, you are able to do what is right, just as God desires. And the shoes of peace, when they are on your feet, they will enable you to bring the good news of Jesus anywhere, to anyone, even to people such as the Duchess. Come on, it's been a long day. Let's get some food and get some rest.
Is there anything more satisfying than a hard day's work? I've got that naive little Albert just where I want him. All he can think about is becoming a knight. He'd do absolutely anything. He doesn't know I'm the one who stole his book of truth. And next, I'm going to steal the crown. Once Albert tells me where the king is going, I'll send my servants to take care of the rest. It'll happen faster than the princess can imagine. Finally, I will be queen, and I will have all the power.